experiences with yoga. Da-da-da. So, a couple of years ago, I decided to completely change my diet and exercise, and I became more comfortable with my body and decided that I actually wanted to try exercising for once in my life. And so I started doing research about, things I should be eating and how I should be exercising. And there was a yoga class just, 10-minute drive from my house, and I decided to check it out. So me and my mom went, and we went almost every week for uh, probably a couple months. So that was my first experience with yoga, and it was nice because it was really laid back. So me and my mom could laugh at each other and talk, and that was good. And it was mostly slow because it was beginner stuff. And the lady was really really nice and not skinny, which I'm not skinny, so that made me feel a lot better about myself and made me feel like I could be flexible someday and whatnot. And I actually, when I was probably 15 or 16, I touched my toes for like the first time that I could remember ever. So that was really exciting because I could not touch my toes. It's hard for me to think that now, but I could like barely not like I was way far away from my toes when I started doing stretching and yoga every single night. I did it for at least 10-15 minutes every night before bed. Um, I would say when I do it at home, I don't do flow yoga. I do the poses and stuff, and I do a lot of stretching, and I usually stay in one pose for a while, and push myself, really push myself into that pose, and stretch out a lot. And so I would do more, like downward dog and stretch my calves out and stuff like that. I wouldn't do a lot of the very muscle work poses at home, but I got more flexible and a lot more comfortable with, bending and twisting and stuff like that because I'd never really done that before. And so I stopped going to yoga, and then like I couldn't drive at the time, so I had to rely on my mom to drive me, and she quit going. So that kind of made me lose my motivation to go. But I still did it at home by myself, like every night before bed, which was great. And I haven't been to a yoga class in like a year or two, um, so the other night my coworkers were going to yoga and they invited me, and I was really really excited because I did a little bit by myself at home, but not very often anymore. Mostly because I don't have a place that I can do it that I feel comfortable and happy in. So I went to yoga with them, and it was amazing. I am just so stoked that how well it went because I was nervous because I haven't done yoga in quite some time, and I lost most of my flexibility, and I thought that I lost most of my muscle and all that because I haven't been working out and stuff since, well, for a while. A couple weeks ago I started running again because it's warmer out, and I probably have asthma, but I have no idea if I do. I just have a really hard time breathing when I run, especially when it's cold out. So now that it's warming up, I've been walking and running lots, which feels good, except I wasn't stretching enough, so I'm really tight. And so I went to yoga, and I am so happy that I didn't use the block at all because I felt like I, for the most part, knew what I was doing, and it felt so good, and it was a lot more serious class. No one spoke at all except for the teacher, and we just got so into it, and it was so relaxing, and like it was hard work. I was sweating balls. It was in this tiny little studio with like 10 to 13 people, and we were all pretty close together. We had just enough room to like spread our legs and arms and stuff, and it felt so good because I hadn't done like flow yoga in a while. So, and I actually, for the first time ever, really got into the breathing technique. So, inhale pose, exhale pose, inhale pose, exhale pose. And it felt so good, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm so pleased, and I want to go again really bad. It's actually, for first time, for your first membership, it's $55 for a month, and they have different kinds of yoga classes every single day. So I could be going to yoga every single day, depending on when I work, and that is just really exciting, and I really hope that I can go often. I I don't really have any money right now, so I shouldn't, get the membership yet. It's $13 for a drop-in, which if you're gonna go every day, that's over $70 for drop-ins. So I would need a membership definitely if I want to go often. And she said to really see a difference, you should go more than once a week, because I just have no motivation to do flow yoga at home. Like, I do the poses and I stretch and I get really into the poses, but I don't go pose to pose to pose just because, I don't know, I just don't do it at home. But I really, really like it because it is hard, so, you have to motivate yourself to do it. People who think that yoga is not a good workout, screw you, because it really is. And so, like, today, my shoulders are sore and my stomach when I stretch, and then the very, very backs of my thighs. So I should probably stretch tonight because I'm sore. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And if you are a beginner and you want to get into yoga, I highly recommend it. It is fantastic. It's not for everyone, and especially if you're new, you should start with a class, because if you're doing it yourself, you might, like, the teacher walks around and corrects your position and everything. She tells you, move your foot back, move your foot this way, put your head down more, tilt your head up, and it's really, really helpful, especially for a beginner, because then, you know what you're doing, and because when you watch videos, they don't tell you where to put your feet, and they mostly go through the poses. And so if you're a beginner and you want to get into yoga, I highly recommend trying it. Start with the teacher, because you don't want to hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself if you aren't, it's if you start with, the beginning stuff, it won't be bad. You won't really hurt yourself. But I mean, if you decide to try harder poses and you don't know what you're doing, you can injure yourself, your muscles, or pull something or whatever. So I recommend trying yoga. Go to a class. They always have drop-in classes for a decent price. You can just try it once or twice. And the first couple times it's really awkward and you might not understand, like, your body's not used to doing that kind of thing. So it might feel really weird and awkward and jerky, but after you've done it a few times, it becomes such a flow, and that's kind of the point of most yoga. So yeah, I love yoga and I really want to go back, and I'm actually definitely taking my boyfriend with me next time. I'm gonna make him go to yoga, and he's never been to a yoga class, so that'll be fun. I think he'll actually really like it, because my boyfriend's kind of feminine, but not saying that yoga's a girl thing at all. In fact, I think, like, way, way back then, it was only men who practiced yoga. Don't quote me on that. I'm actually not sure. I just feel like I learned that at some point. Anyways, thanks for listening. Subscribe to my channel. I would like to make a different channel and change my name, because this is a YouTube account that I made really, really long time ago, when I was like 11 or 12. So